This land in Winchester, Indiana was purchased in 1851 for a poor farm on the basis to care for those who were unable to work. Residents ranged from mentally ill, physically disabled, single mothers, elderly, and orphans. The residents that were physically able to do so maintained the farm. The original wooden building was built in 1853 and had 16 resident inmates. Less than a year later, the structure was destroyed by a fire in January of 1854. In 1855, a new two-story brick building was built. That building was ordered demolished due to poor conditions. From 1898 to 1899, a 50,000 square foot building was erected, which is now the current building that stands today. This structure housed 6 large wards, several private rooms, laundry, kitchen, spare dining rooms for men and women. The property implemented a pump house, hay barn, machine shed, garages, and a chicken house, all of which were on 350 acres of land. A cemetery is also located on the property. Approximately 50 unmarked graves still exist on the property today. In 1994, the residents turned over into the Countryside Care Center. 12 residents in total inhabited the property at that time. The Countryside Care Center closed in 2008. The current owners purchased the historical property site from the county in 2016. The following information was gathered from our tour. The Randolph County Infirmary was gender segregated for a majority of its existence. The women were residents on the north side of the building and the men on the south side. The basement was not gender segregated other than the dining areas, which were also in the basement. Deaths did take place in the Randolph County Infirmary. The following are just a few. A woman named Doris was left at the Randolph County Infirmary by her sisters when she was 11 years old. They left her there because her sisters believed there was something seriously wrong with her mentally and they could not care for her. Doris loved to help cook in the kitchen that was located in the basement. Doris lived at the Randolph County Infirmary for approximately 70 years before passing away in 2004. It was reported that there were 4 men suffocated on the second floor men's side of the building and that one older gentleman who fell from the second-story window. A 7-year-old boy named Noah died of the measles in one of the rooms. Noah's mother was with him in the room when he passed away. There was a woman named Ida who resided at the infirmary. Ida's mental state was becoming progressively worse over time. There was a room in the basement in which the infirmary had to put bars on the window. Ida was moved to that room. She was allowed out all day, but when it was time for bed, Ida would go to the basement room. Ida, one night, placed a broom over top the pipes running the ceiling of the room. Ida took a rope and secured it to the broomstick and hung herself. There is a room in the basement that had a meat locker cold storage chamber and a meat chopping cutting block within. It was said that in 1925 there was a cholera epidemic happening within the county of Winchester and the surrounding counties. The mortuaries were said to not have been able to keep up with the bodies and the embalming of them. The cholera epidemic just added significantly in the rise of deaths, combined with natural deaths, cancer, heart attacks, and etc. and so forth. The county commissioners was said to have signed a contract with ambulance crews. The contract was that since there was not any room at the mortuaries for the numbers and the quickly rising death rates, the bodies would be stored at the Randolph County Infirmary basement meat storage room. The morticians would then use the meat locker room to embalm the bodies on a special table provided to them in that room. Unfortunately, it was said that the bodies would be stored in the meat storage locker, the same area as the meat for the residents at the infirmary. There was said that there were 3 older ladies at the infirmary that died from cholera contamination. Due to cholera being highly contagious, the source of the cholera contagion that infected these women was largely unknown. The storage of those bodies to be embalmed at the infirmary was a suspected source of the contamination. Shortly after those particular deaths at the infirmary, the body storage and the embalming process at the infirmary was brought to an end.